Hey guys, it's Mr. Man with Giving Face. It's hot as hell outside, and I have no idea why I'm doing this, but I figured I'd do a demo tutorial type thing on one of everybody's favorite kind of looks, the everyday makeup, no makeup kind of look. So I'm sitting in my favorite place in the whole wide world to do videos, as we all know, is my kitchen. By the window, the fan is on. It's still hot as hell. I could be in air conditioning in my room. The lighting is not so good, and then it's kind of like a controlled situation. This is more like a real life thing. So it's the middle of the summer. You are going out. You got to go to work. You're a guy. You're a girl. You're somebody that has to wear makeup, and you just want to do something that's really, quick but flawless, nice coverage. Nothing too heavy, a little bit sheer, but you want certain things to still pop. So that's basically what we're going to go through. Of course, I am a guy, so there are certain things like the facial hair that women wouldn't really have to worry about, and of course, contouring and all of that stuff is different. But it's really just about seeing it done and concept, and you learn how to apply it to your face. So practice makes perfect. If you're at a certain age and there are certain things that you still don't know about your face, then maybe you should have a little getting to know you time and just stare at your face, finger your face. Yes, I know, sounds funny, but it's true. I've got all my products laid out. I recently got a haircut. They kind of brought all this down, and I was contemplating shaving it down even more, but I figured, you know what, I wanted it to be kind of as realistic as possible. So I'm going to apply my makeup over my stubble and all of that up. Not really trying to cover it up or anything like that. And as well, I've already done my skincare, cleansing, toning, the whole 9 yards. The only thing I didn't do was put on moisturizer because I'm using a mattifying moisturizer for certain areas just to kind of control shine. And when applying my makeup, I don't really have issues with discoloration. Sometimes I get little spots, but they're not dark enough that even a sheer application of makeup wouldn't cover it up. But I do have issues sometimes with textures and pores. So I'm going to be using the Pore Professional by Benefit for the textured areas of my face that I just want to cover up. So I should have opened this one up before I started. And I could easily stop and just re-edit or whatever, but I don't care. So it's going to take a little bit, that much. And I've got my handy dandy mirror off to the side here. So for me, it's right underneath my eyes where my concealer would go, of course, my nose. So I'm just applying that all over that area. Want to use a light hand because I don't want to really move it around too much. A little bit here. And I've been getting some texture here. So I'm just going to apply that over there so you can see. Awesome. So I'm going to take my Vitamin Plus. This is the mattifying moisturizer that I mentioned in my summer skincare video, and I'm only going to take that much. Knock this stuff over, who cares? And I'm going to apply that kind of everywhere else. I'm just giving that, getting messages from the other realm. Trying to, not go over the areas where I have the Pore Professional, because I don't want to move it, and those areas are already covered because the Pore Professional will also mattify those areas while also improving texture. Whereas the moisturizer is just about mattifying, not about texture. So you put the product where you need it, where you have the concern. You're not going to put it where you don't, because that just doesn't make sense. So as far as concealers, I'm going to use I haven't really dipped into them yet, so I figured it would be a nice time to start. I mean, I've tinkered around with them, but nothing too insane. So I'm going to use from the Freedom palette that I created from Inglot, and those are my concealers. And this is MW200. Probably looks a lot darker than it actually is. And then this is just P. So it's not pink, it's peachy. So it's just a peachy concealer, which is really, really good for, you know, dark circles, hyperpigmentation, that kind of a thing. So I know my colors pretty well for my face, so I'm just going to apply that. Oh, the angle is like all wrong. There we go. Okay, so I've got the MW200 and I've got the peach right there. And I'm going to take my airbrush concealer brush and I'm just going to lightly blend those two together on the skin because this is a little thick. So I want to get a nice blend, keeping them on my skin, which is really, really warm. And as you can see, it's just kind of blending in there. My hands are a lot lighter than my face, obviously. So then I'm just going to take it and we're going to go very lightly under the eye. So right now I'm not really worried about blending, I'm just kind of applying. So I'm going to take it right there. Sometimes I have some dark circle issues. Keeping it really to where I would have the dark circles, the lines from dark circles actually at the bottom of the pocket right there. That's where, when you have dark circles, the lines tend to be the darkest. Just blend it up a little bit. I'm going to bring it a little bit onto the eye, just a light dusting for the colors that I'm going to go in with afterwards. And notice I'm just doing like really, really light application as far as with the brush. I like to do sometimes a little bit in the center of the brow, blending it up a little bit and over, of course bringing it down onto the nose ever so lightly, right next to chin right there. And now I'll just kind of use my finger and blend them out. Okay, so that's that aspect. And in the mirror, I know the lighting is a little bleh, but it's certainly doing exactly what I wanted to do. So as far as foundation, I could go with a tinted moisturizer, I could go with a BB cream. I'm actually going to use the Makeup Forever HD foundation in 170. So I'm going to use one pump of this bad boy, just because Makeup Forever is one of the foundations that just happens to blend the best into my skin. It's different for everybody, so you know what's going to work best for you. So now I've got that there, and I'm just taking my Inglot foundation brush, and I'm going to start actually right in the areas where I kind of put the Pore Professional. Remember, where you first put your brush is where you're going to get the highest concentration. a product on your skin, meaning color, and then you just kind of want to blend everything out from there. I'm going right into my facial hair because there's no point in trying to avoid it. There's skin underneath. I don't really have a very thick shadow, so it's not like I would want to avoid that. Besides, if I do, when the sunlight hits my face, then you would kind of notice a difference in the skin tone in those areas, and that's just not cute. Okay, so of course blending down, blending down, blending down. And this is definitely my summer color. Just take whatever's left and finish blending it down. Take that right up to the area where you have the concealer underneath the eye. And then what I like to do is just go back over and blend back where the concealer was onto that area, not vice versa. It's very subtle as far as for a no makeup look. You're not really going to notice too much of a difference in those areas, but it's just a force of habit, and for me it makes a difference. You always want to make sure that you're blending in the right direction. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Now, as far as the face goes, I could say, you know what, that's more than enough coverage, but for the sake of those of you that are ladies, or maybe just guys that would want a little bit more coverage, we're going to take it up a notch, and being conscious of the weather and wanting to be matte, I'm going to use my Duo Matte by Makeup Forever in 209, which I absolutely love this stuff. So I'm just taking my brush, and I'm not really sweeping, I'm just kind of dabbing it in. I want the product in the brush, not going like that. If it go like that, then I've kind of wiped everything off of the brush, and that doesn't make sense. Again, so we're going to take it very, very lightly into the areas that we started with the foundation. And give it a light dusting. If you notice, I'm not going over the areas where I put my concealer. I don't really want to change the color of that. And I'm taking that right into my hairline, even though my hair is actually within the same color family as my skin. Like if I had a heavy bronze on, my hair would just disappear into my bronzer. But, you know, minor details that make all the difference when you're doing your makeup. Okay, so that is that for now. We're trying to keep it simple. Now, for the eyes, and you notice I had put a little bit of concealer on there, just enough to avoid having to use like a primer or anything like that. I was originally going to throw some on, but now I'm just not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my eyeshadow brush. It's just a number 25 brush by Studio Gear, and I'm going to go into my matte colors from my matte palette, and this is Saddle. So it's very much within the same family of my skin tone. Just got a little bit of a brighter undertone, a little pinky. So just going to pick some of that up on my brush and apply that all over my lids. And then I'm just going to blend the edges a little. Awesome. Okay, okay. Okay. Subtle. That's the point. Then I have a color that's slightly darker, and that is espresso. And I'm going to use my number 10 brush. This is Sephora Pro, the original Sephora Pro, not the new one that's coming out. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that, and I'm going to lightly go into my crease. But if you notice, I'm not taking it all the way in. I'm actually just keeping it from the corner to about 3/4 of the way in. I'm going to do something else with that inside corner in a second. Let's take a little bit more on the other side. And just blend a little onto the brow bone. I know that you can definitely notice a difference in the eyes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Foley, it would be Foley would be with 2 L's, but anyway. And I'm going to take that same fluffy brush, and I'm only going to use like super little bit, and lightly go in. Now with that, I'm going to go all the way inside to the inner corner. And if you notice, I'm really barely touching the brush to my skin there. So it's really going to pick up just a little bit of that kind of pinky color. Now I have light brown eyes, so these colors tend to make them pop. Now what I like to do, guys, you don't have to do this. You can, you don't have to though, is use a little bit of like a nice velvety bronzer, and this is the Givenchy Croisière in number 4. It's really pretty. And just picking up a little bit of that, and I'm going to go back into the crease, and it gives it just a nice kind of a glow. Also softens up the other colors, brings it into a nice natural juice. And for the inside and for the top underneath the brow, I'm going to use Cafe Latte number 58 from Sephora Collection. Absolutely love this stuff. That color right there. For those of you that have never used the Sephora Collection eyeshadows, you should really give them a try. They're actually really, really good. They blend very, very well. They have really good pigment, so it definitely gets the job done. I'm going to switch brushes just because, so I'm using the number 45. This is actually a cream shadow brush, but it's a little fluffier, so just giving that a dusting in the center, bringing it a little bit up. And over, just to kind of brighten up the inside without putting any kind of a luminizer or anything. So we've got that. Now, of course, we gotta do something about the brows. Not that there's anything wrong with my brows, but if you're doing everything else, you might as well just kind of clean those up. So I'm going to use Demolition, which is the 24/7 Glide On Liner by Urban Decay. Then it's just a chocolate brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go along the base of my brow and just lightly draw short strokes in. So I'm starting from the center, going up and back. This brow grows longer than this one, so just want to even those out. Then I'm going to go back in with that shadow brush that I was using, the number 45, is it? Yeah. And just going to use that to blend up. My brows have a really good shape, it's just about giving them a little bit more definition. Than they had before. Bam. Bam. And just because I have very stubborn brows, I'm going to use my Inglot brush and just give those a nice firm. There we go. That was just really for the shape because they're getting a little unruly, so it just kind of keeps that. You see, it just gives them a little bit more of a pop. And I'm going to tightline now. Tightlining is when you take a liner and you just go in the inside of the upper lash line just to kind of give it a little bit more definition. And I like to use chocolate browns just because it's a bit more natural. Black is very, very dark. Now some people have to, you know, put their finger in their eye and flip it back and do all kinds of craziness. But since I do this a lot, I'm pretty comfortable with just doing it with my eyes open. And I'm not taking it all the way in, if you noticed. It's only 3/4 of the way in. Basically where my lashes kind of stop. And you're just letting the pencil glide back and forth. So it's really important to use something that is not going to tug because that really hurts. So, you know, don't use something that's cheap to the point that it's hard. Kohl liners are really, really good. So like the Guerlain Kohl liner. I've had this stuff for like ever, and there's still plenty of it left. But that's black, so I don't want to be dramatic with it right now. I'm not going to do the bottom, but what I am going to do is I'm going to close my eyes really, really hard a couple of times. And kind of squeeze them together. And it's just going to transfer enough just to give a little juice to the lower lash line, but not enough to really define it, so it doesn't look like there's anything on there. So that's that. No bronzer or anything as of yet. You could easily just kind of stop here, go in with more coverage if you want. As far as the lips, I'm just going to go in with an NYX 858 Nude Pink pencil that is only somewhat lighter than my lip color, and just fill that in. Hi, baby. And my niece is here. Awesome. And then I'm just going to go over that with the fresh brown sugar lip balm, SPF 15. Now, that's kind of it, really basic, makeup tutorial demo kind of thing. And I'm almost at 25 minutes, so I'm just gonna kind of do like a quick boom pow and bang it up a bit, but still keeping it really kind of soft and subtle. So first I'm going to start bronzing with Hoola by Benefit and Inglot Fan Brush, just because it gives you a really, really light application. This part is really all about finding your highlight and your contouring area as far as the bronzing and the luminizing that I'm about to do with the Makeup Forever sculpting kit. So I'm going under my jaw, going around my cheekbone, my temple, back and forth, from my hairline, still very, very subtle. Lather, rinse, repeat on the other side. And you have to make really intense model face when you do this, I guess. I notice I do it all the time. My colleagues laugh at me when I'm at work and I'm doing my bronzer and stuff, especially when I'm using a fan brush. They say my face gets very, very intense. They love you. Just want to bring that down. If you don't bronze down onto your neck, you're going to notice definitely a difference in the color. A little kind of quick contour on the nose. Bring that up a little bit just for added definition. Some more right there on the top. And I'm going to go back in with that Givenchy. It's not really shimmery, it's more velvety, which I actually like. And you know, this time I'm going to use Makeup Forever Dual Fiber Brush. Oh no, sorry, this is the Sephora Collection Dual Fiber Brush. Makeup Forever on back. And this I'm going to keep right to the cheek. A little bit in the temple, a little bit in the temple, bring it up. And whatever is left, just go there. This is the Naked Rose Powder Blush by Illamasqua. Not a must, but it's good to have. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that, very, very lightly. Right into those 2 points. And I'm going to go back in with my stippling brush and just blend that out with whatever bronzer is still left on there. So it'll give the cheeks a nice, warm glow. Nothing too crazy, of course. Of course, you can see my sister hiding in the background. Now she's dropping stuff off the fridge. That's cute. Who cares? Did I mention that I'm doing this in Brooklyn? Yeah, so we're keeping it real. Thanks. Yeah. This is the They're Real by Benefit mascara. This is mine. I do not use this on people, which is why I'm going to put it right to my eye, as opposed to using a disposable wand that is nothing like the actual wand that comes in here, because this looks like a caterpillar. Yeah, I just wiped off a whole bunch of product because what's the point of doing it? No makeup looking in and looking like you have tarantula eyes. So just a quick I'm not going to go too crazy because my lashes are very, very long and they curl, so if I put any more on, they're going to look fake. And that's really not the point. So again, for added juice, I'm going to find my Makeup Forever Sculpting Kit number 3, and I'm using just the luminizing part with the number 55 brush from Sephora Collection. My highlighted areas. Bring that back. then I'm going to go in with the Illamasqua Intimacy lip gloss. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. I'm going to apply that to my bottom lip in the center. Blend that around. Kind of light. I don't know if I'm feeling that. So, let's take from my Inglot lip palette, and we're going to take this color. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Bazam. And yeah, that's just about it. I am going to take Kat Von D setting spray. Give my face a nice spray down. Got cucumber in it. It smells awesome. It's refreshing at the same time because it's hot as hell in here, like I said. And you guys see me do it all the time on Facebook, in my pictures, and that's how I get ready for work. Of course, when I'm not explaining it, it takes me a lot less time to do it. But no makeup, tutorial, glasses on, ready to go. Bam! I know the lighting is really, really bad and blah, 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 blah. I just wanted to do something on my day off, kind of give you guys something to see. If you have any questions, comments of a non-shady nature, please feel free. Anything else, you guys know how to get in contact with me. It's been real. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and stay hydrated. Signing out, this is Mr. Man for Giving Face. Ciao.